Uh-oh. The camera. All right, let it be what it is. That's good.
That is so weird.
Have we started? Oh, we're live. Are we live? You know, we're in Portland. We don't know if we're alive or not. So, wonderful to see you all, to be with you again. Of course, I can't see you, but usually I walk between my bedroom, the bathroom, and my puja room. Wait, that's a message from me.
No, that's right. That's right. It's me.
Telling us that we're live. And this is aside from last Sunday when we did this beautiful kirtan and celebration in Los Angeles for the 50th anniversary of Be Here Now, the book that really lit up a whole generation of people, human beings actually, written by Ram Dass, of course, and it was a beautiful concert, beautiful day. But that was the first time I'd sung when I wasn't in my pajamas. So this is the second time. Although Benji, Wertheimer, here he is, the wondrous Benji, the beautiful Heather, right here. Wait, there she is. And his Krishna Bansuri Wale, the great Steve Gorn on flute. Very happy to be here with my old friends. Benji reminded me it was 21 years ago today that he got an email from me asking him to come to Los Angeles and record for the CD that became Breath of the Heart. And that's where Steve and Benji met, because Steve came out from New York to play on it too. So it was fantastic. Yeah. Very happy. Happy. Okay. And as you know, we're still here. Even though we might be somewhere else, we are still here. And that's where we want to be. Pranavam Pavanakuma Kalabana Pavak Jnanagan Jasu Hridayaga Vasinram Sarchapadhar Atulita Baladham Himmashala Badeham Tanujavan Krishan Jnani Nama Graganyam Sakala Guna Nidhanam Vanaranam Adhisham Raghupati Priya Bhaktam Vatajatam Namam Goshpani Kritarisham Mashiki Kritarakshasam Ramayana Mahamalaratnam Ande Nilatmajam Anjananandaram Vir Janaki Shokanashana Kapisamakshahanta Andilanka Bhayankaram Nilanga Sindho Salilan Salila Yashokahi Chanakatmanjaya Adaitani Dadalanka Amamitam Pranjaliranjanayam Manojavam Maruttatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimutam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanardayutamukyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe. I take refuge, shelter in the messenger of Ram, in the name of Ram, and the one who brings that message of love to us, Hanuman. Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Anjaneyam Matipatalanam Kanchanadri Kamaniya Vigraham Parijata Tarumula Vasanam Bhavayami Pavamananandanam Yatra Yatra Raghunath Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Kritamastakhanjali Vashpavari Paripurna Lochana Martinamat Rakshasantakam Bolo Bajranga Bali Hanuman Ki Jai. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Sitaram, 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 Jai Jai Sitaram.
Sitaram, 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 Jai Jai Sitaram.
Sitaram, Nitaram, Sitaram, Nitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram, Jai Jai Sitaram.
Sitaram, 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 Jai Jai Sitaram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai
Sitaram, 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 Jai Jai Sitaram.
Sitaram, 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 Jai Jai Sitaram.
Sitaram, 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 Jai Jai Sitaram.
Sitaram, 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 Jai Jai Sitaram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram.
See. See. You don't see my iPad doing this every week. It's a real treat to hear a tabla being tuned. Namo, 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 Namo. Anjani Nandana Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman. Hanuman, Jai Hanuman. Jai Bajranga Bale, Baba Hanuman. Jaya Bajranga Bale, Jai Hanuman. Sankata Mochan Kripanidhan. Sankata Mochan Kripanidhan. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. 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 Jai Hanuman. Hanuman. Jai Hanuman. Jai Bajranga Bale, Baba Hanuman. Jai Bajranga Bale, Jai Hanuman. Karuna Sakara Kripanidhan. Karuna Sagara Kripanidhan. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Hanuman. Hanuman. Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai. Kripa karo Gurudev Kinai. Sankata Mochan Kripanidhan. Lala Langote La Nishan. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman.
Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jai Hanuman.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram.
Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram Ram Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Ram Ram Ram, Sita Ram
Hare Rama, Sita Rama,
Hare Ram, Sita Ram.
Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Sita Rama, Rama Ram,
Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Sita Rama, Rama Ram.
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 Hare Rama, Sita Rama.
Hare Rama, Sita Ram.
Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Sita Rama, Rama Ram.
Hare Rama, Sita Rama.
Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Sita Rama, Rama Ram. Govinda Hare, Gopala Hare, He Prabhu Dinadala Hare, Govinda
Hare, Gopala Hare. Hey Prabhu Dina Daya Hare.
Govinda Hare, Gopala Hare, He Prabhu Dinadala Hare, Govinda
Hare, Gopala Hare. Hey Prabhu Dina Dayal Hare.
Govinda Hare, Gopala Hare, He Prabhu Dinadala Hare,
Govinda Hare, Gopala Hare.
Hare. Hey Prabhu Dinadal Hare.
Govinda Hare, Gopala Hare. Hey Prabhu Dinadayal Hare.
Govinda Hare, Gopala Hare. Hey Prabhu Dinadal Hare.
Govinda Hare, Gopala Hare. Hey Prabhu Dinadayal Hare.
Govinda Hare, Gopala Hare. Hey Prabhu Dinadal Hare.
Govinda Hare, Gopala Hare. Hey Prabhu Dinadayal
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Hare.
Shri Guru Charanam, Shri Hari Sharanam, 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 Shri Guru Charanam, Sharanam Shri Guru Sharanam Shri Hari 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 Sharanam Shri Guru Ema Durga, Ema Durga, Ema Durga, Ema Durga, Ema Durga. Ema Durga, Ema Durga, Ema Durga, Chandikaya. Om Namah 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 Chandikaya. Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute. Siddhi Buddhi Prade Deve Bhukti Mukti Pradayani Mantramurti Mahadevi Mahalakshmi Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute. Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sadike Sharanye Trambake Gari Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute. Sarvabadha vinirmukto dhanadhanya siddhanato manusyo mat prasadeno Bhavishyati Sanchaya Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Namostute Narayani Jaya Jagarambe, He Ma Durga. Jaya Jagarambe, Jaya Jagarambe, He Ma Durga.
Jaya Jagarambe, He
Jagarambe, He Ma Durga.
Jai Jagadambe, Hey Ma Durga.
Jai Jagarambe, He Ma Durga.
Jai Jagadambe, Hey Ma Durga.
He Ma Durga, He Ma Durga, He Ma Durga.
Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga.
He Ma Durga, He Ma Durga, He Ma Durga.
Hey Ma Durga, Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga.
Jai Jagarambe, He Ma Durga.
Jai Jagadambe, Hey Ma Durga.
Jai Jagarambe, He Ma Durga.
Jai Jagadambe, Hey Ma Durga.
Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga, Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga.
Jai Jagadambe, Ma Durga. Jai Jagadambe, Ma Durga.
Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga, Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga.
Jai Jagadambe, Ma Durga. Jai Jagadambe, Ma Durga.
Om Narayani, Om Narayani, Om Narayani, Om Narayani, Om.
Narayani Om, Narayani Om, Narayani Om, Narayani Om.
Narayani Om, Narayani Om, Narayani Om, Narayani Om.
Narayani Om, Narayani Om, Narayani Om, Narayani Om.
Jai 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 Jagarambe Ma Durga, Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga.
Jai Jagadambe, Ma Durga. Jai Jagadambe, Ma Durga.
Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga, Jagarambe Ma Durga.
Jai Jagadambe, Ma Durga. Jai Jagadambe, Ma Durga.
Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga.
Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga.
Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga.
Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga, Hey Ma Durga.
Hey Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga, Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga.
Jai Jagadambe, Ma Durga. Jai Jagadambe, Ma Durga.
Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga, Jai Jagarambe Ma Durga.
Jai Jagadambe, Ma Durga. Jai Jagadambe, Ma Durga.
Om Narayani, Om Narayani, Om Narayani, Om Narayani, Om.
Narayani Om, Narayani Om, Narayani Om, Narayani Om.
Narayani Om, Narayani Om, Narayani Okay. All right. Let's see what's on our mind. And my iPad. You guys can go, attend to the essentials if you like, while I pretend I know something. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Can I talk a little bit about good ways, other than anchoring into the mantra, to really let go of heavy feelings resulting from sudden bad news, like the sudden death of a loved one? No. Those heavy emotions, once the cloud envelops you, flailing around doesn't do any good. Trying to push it away, avoid it, may give some temporary relief from the intensity, but it comes back. That's why we keep talking about practice being so important. Regular practice. Because you get habituated to the feeling of letting go. And the only way to get used to that is to keep letting go. If you try to let go only when the shit hits the fan, not only do you get the shit in your face, but the fan rips your hair up. So it's horrible. So it's a question of doing something a little bit regularly, getting used to the feeling of living at home in yourself. There's no shortcuts. There are, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do whatever you have to do, you feel you need to do to get through it. Whatever gets you through the night is good. But it might make the day more difficult. Later, you'll find out. Regular practice over a long period of time is really and the shock of something really sudden hitting you is it's not something that you can deal with just like that, But the great beings, the saints, they don't live in the moment the way we do. I mean, actually, they live in the moment, we don't. So when something occurs that's painful or intense, they meet it in a different way than we do. So it goes through them, whether we get run over by it. I keep remembering that cartoon was that that rabbit that used to run so fast. What was it called? Anyway, he was always getting run over by something, and he'd be flat on the ground. And who is that? Come on, not Quickstraw. It was on Quickstraw McGraw. And
Elmer Fudd was also on there, right?
No, Elmer Fudd's different.
No, just trying to make a connection.
Huh?
Roadrunner.
Roadrunner. Was it Roadrunner? Was it Quickstraw McGraw and Roadrunner? Yeah, that rabbit that used to get run over by cars all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like when those emotions hit. one time, Mr. Tiwari was up on the roof of the temple with Maharaji, and Maharaji started like dancing in ecstasy. And Tiwari says to him, what? And he said, oh, this woman devotee of his died. She died, she died. And he's like, so Tiwari looks at him and says, you're a butcher. How you could, she died, she served you for so many years and you're dancing in ecstasy when she dies? Maharaji looks at him and he says, what? You want me to act like one of the puppets, like you? I mean, where he lives, it's one. No one comes and goes. The bodies might drop off, but the soul doesn't go anywhere. It's always here. And he lives in, these great beings live as the indwelling presence within us, our true awareness, our true nature. That's who they are. So if a body drops off, even their own body, it's not a big deal. They don't suffer the way we do because of attachment. But because we think we are who we think we are, all day long, all life long, and we think other people are who we think they are and who they think they are, it gets complicated. But, so there's no quick answers, but you have to ride the grief. You have to let yourself feel it. If you don't let yourself feel it, you never process it. It doesn't, it's stuck, it sticks somewhere as a in your subtle body, as a seed that's going to cause suffering later. So it's very difficult to be with these intense emotions, whether it's fear, anger, or grief, or shame, all the intense emotions like that. Very hard to allow them to be, but not, you don't absorb them the same way. That's why regular practice is so important, because it's like an automatic program that's running of releasing rather than automatically holding on. Right now, we're programmed to hold on to everything. But over time, we can let go of our identification with the negative states of mind and the negative self-images and the negative stories we tell ourselves. But you can't push those away. We have to train ourselves to release them. That's why when we chant, and the way I share the chanting is just the way I do it. Very simply, you sing. When you notice you're not paying attention, you come back. That's it. But that's a lot. Because when you really pay attention, you'll see that you can hardly pay attention at all. And that's something that's a wake-up call for us. So, and every time we come back from being gone in dreamland or fantasy land or the future or the past or whatever, there's a neural pathway in the brain that deepens. And the more times you come back, the deeper that pathway gets, and the bigger it gets, and the more easy it gets to return to home base. But you got to do it. You don't do it, nothing's going to happen. You do it, who knows? At least you got a shot. So. Somebody's asking, talking about their son who passed away in October. He was stillborn. We love him so much. We called him Light. I read a story about Swami Nityananda, who was Swami Muktananda's guru. He was a supreme siddha. He was absolutely beyond the beyond. And the story is really amazing. He said, so the story goes that Nityananda was sitting, as he always did, very quietly. Many times he talked, but most of the time he was just like, and he would have his back to the devotees and stuff like that. So a car pulls up, and it's this young couple, and they're carrying a baby who died, just born, and died very immediately. And they come into the ashram, and they bow to Swami Muktananda, and they said, Baba, please open our child's eyes. Open his eyes, open his eyes. So Nityananda passed his hand over the child's eyes, and as he did, they opened, and then he went like this, and they closed. And then he tells the couple, go bury the child. Go, bury the child. So one of his devotees says, Baba, why didn't you bring that child back to life? You can do that. And Nityananda looked at him and said, do you want to take responsibility for that? That soul was born 3 times and died immediately. His desire was to die in my presence. And this is the 3rd time he tried to get to me, to die in my presence. You don't believe me? Go ask the couple. So that devotee goes out, and this was their 3rd time that the baby died immediately, just about after birth. The same couple had 3. This is the 3rd try at having a child. Later on, I think they had a child, but we don't know what's going on. We don't know why someone comes in for a minute and leaves. We don't know why we stay. Maybe that being was just so full of light that it didn't have any work to do. It just needed to come and go. It's beyond us. These things are beyond us. But we suffer because we think. We suffer because of our assumptions we make about things. That death is bad. Even. It may not be. Maybe the body's finished its work and it needs to take another body to do different work. We don't know. But we don't know, and that's the one thing we can be sure of. So if we don't know, then our only option is to accept things the way they manifest and not add on top of them, not add to our attachment to them. And recognize that this is the way it had to be. Difficult. Any behind-the-scenes stories from the Be Here Now 50th anniversary last week at the Wisdom? Hey, it's been a long time since there were any behind-the-scenes stories, believe me. We're too old. We slept when we weren't on stage, and then we woke up, had some coffee, sang, and went back to sleep. It's about as exciting as we get. But it was great to see so many people. It was really great. I was there in India when Ram Dass brought the first copy of Be Here Now to Maharaji. So Maharaji took it, looked at it, handed it to somebody, told him to bring it in the back. The next day, when we came to the temple, Maharaji came out, and he was ready. He said, Ram Dass, there's lies in this book. Really? What lies? And Maharaji told him, Maharaji said, tell him. So the English-speaking devotees told Ram Dass the stuff in the book that was untrue. Someone had told them some stories that weren't quite true. So Ram Dass said, well, we'll change them in the next edition. Maharaji said, no, change them now. So Ram Dass said, Baba, they just today, I got off the phone with someone in America who had just dropped off the plates for the printing. And as of now, there must be 5,000 copies printed. Maharaji said, truth is more important than money. Change it now. So Ram Dass said, okay. And he goes back to town and he calls back to America. And he gets his friend on the phone who had brought the plates down to the printer in Albuquerque. And he tells the guy what happened. And the guy says, that's incredible. I just got a call from the printer. I left the plates. It's like a 5-hour drive, or 2, 3, 4, maybe a 4-hour drive from where he was living to Albuquerque. I dropped the plates off and then I drove home. So when I got home, I got a call that just as they were going to print the plate that was the front piece of the book, which was a picture of Maharaji, the plate fell and broke. And so they had to stop and they couldn't print anything. Yeah.
That's good.
That's the story. So the teaching, though, is surrender. Now, Ramdas probably felt really bad at the money that was going to be lost. Ultimately, but ultimately he wanted to do what Maharaji said, so he was going to do it. But where was his heart at that time? Did it kind of like, well, we just lost a lot of money, or was it like, fuck the money, I don't care? And did he close, or did he stay open? It's very, probably a little bit of both. Why does my interest keep getting less and less? I used to be very interested, and I used to be in peace and happiness when I listened to kirtan and satsang. How do I keep my engagement and chanting continuous? I don't listen too often recently. Please advise. Listen. What else do you want me to say? If you're not interested, you're not interested. Go do something else. If you're not getting what you want from it, then forget it. Or is it just that you come up against some stuff inside that's preventing you from going deeper? So that's up to you to figure out. Nobody can tell you. Maharaji's last instruction to me when I was leaving India, when he was sending me home back to America, was do what you want. I said, I was completely freaked about going to America. 2.5 years I was in India. And now he's sending me back to New York. What am I going to do? So I'm sitting in front of him and I'm thinking, I better ask him what to do. And then the other part of me said, no, what's wrong with you? Have faith. You don't need to ask. Just go. Everything will be okay. Faith my ass. I'm going back to New York. What am I going to do there? I said, shut up. I said, what? Right in front of him. So finally, I just blurted out, Maharaji, how can I serve you in America? And he made a face. It looked like he bit a pickle. It's like, that, just asking about service isn't service. Just do what you want. Now, the funny thing was, I had been celibate for 2.5 years. You know what I wanted to do? And he knew what I wanted to do. So when he told me to do what I want, he knew what we were talking about. And I just went, and my mind went completely blank. And I'm sitting like staring at him like, and he looked at me and he cracked up. He laughed so hard, it was too funny. And then he said, so, how will you serve me? Ah, how will you serve me? Ah. Hey man, do what you want. If you don't want to chant, don't chant. But when it hurts enough, you'll find a way to do some practice. If you even really believe in practice. If you even really think there's anything to find. If you don't, then go be happy something else. Do something else. Make money, get rich, buy cars. Do whatever you want. But when you are suffering more than you can bear, you will look for a way out. And before that, there's no sense even pretending. Are you doing it because other people are doing it, or because you like looking at the women in the groups? Who knows why you're doing it? Don't lie to yourself. That's a waste of time. If you're not into it, then go do something else. And when you're doing something else, you might find that you don't like it, that you really want to chant. Then you'll pay attention. Don't pretend. If you can't be honest with yourself, you're in trouble. Because if you don't trust yourself, the whole spiritual path is learning to trust yourself. Because where are you going to feel all these wonderful things you want to feel? Over there? Over there? No. You're going to feel them in yourself. And if you don't trust yourself, then God could come knocking on your door and ask you for 5 cents, and you'll just kick him away because you don't trust yourself. So listen to yourself. Ask yourself why you're losing interest. And if you say, oh, I just don't want to do it, then don't do it. Go do something else. And maybe someday you'll come back to it in a real way, and then you'll get something out of it. That's it? No more questions? There are other questions. People asking me things I really don't know. So I'm not going to spend any time pretending I know anything. Not that I know even what I'm talking about. Here's one. Maharaji once, he used to say, who's Hanuman? And we would give him all the pat answers. Hanuman is the servant of Ram, the perfect servant, the this, the that. And then he would say, nay, that Hanuman is Ram ke svas, the breath or the life of Ram. I don't understand that. Intellectually, I might have some babble going on in my head about it, but I really don't know what that means. But he does. So ask him. No more questions. Maybe, okay, good. Everybody's enlightened. That's good. We can sing some more. Oh, announcements. Yes, okay. Okay, so what's today? Oh, tomorrow. Is today? No, tomorrow's Friday. Saturday, Chai and Chat, 2 p.m. Oh, East time. That's going to be 11 in the morning for me. That's hard. Can we do it later? No. Okay. So Chai and Chat on Saturday, 2 o'clock New York time. And, oh, this is really good. Saturday, November 13th at 7 o'clock New York time. Live in New York, Volume 2 premiere. We recorded a kirtan in New York City. It's got to be almost 4 years ago, I think. And, everybody says, I say, well, didn't I see you 2 years ago? Oh, wait a second. I've been home for 2 years. It was 2 years before the pandemic that I saw you. So that's 4 years. So I think, yeah. So this was recorded just before the pandemic hit, I think, and or relatively the fall before the pandemic hit. So nobody's seen it. It hasn't been released. This is the first time anybody will see it. It's all mixed. It's a great video. Jay Messina mixed it, and it sounds fantastic. And that's the story. So that's Saturday, November 13th, 7 p.m., New York time, and it's free. So, and you'll find out how to find that, krishnadas.com/support. That's where I go to find out who I am every day. What am I doing today? Where am I? And that's the story. Okay? So we got a few minutes. Let's sing some more. Okay? Wiley, can you plug that white thing in? If there's room for it. Oh. Oh, that was earlier. Okay. Yeah, okay. So good. Okay. Where am I? Is there life on earth? Oops. Come back. Little Shiba. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Don't go so fast. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Hanumate. Om Hanumate. Om Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Hanumate. Om Hanumate. Om Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate Namah. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate. Om Ham Hanumate Hanumate Thanks a lot. One thing we can always do for beings that we see suffering, and for ourselves, is to offer loving kindness to those beings and to ourselves as well. We really don't know what another person is experiencing. We only know how it looks to us. But on the other hand, that's what we have to go on. When I was going to commit suicide in the temple in India, there was a river out back the temple. It was only 6 inches deep. But I figured, I could get my head caught under a rock or something. It might work. Maharaja just looked at me and he laughed. He said, "What are you going to do, jump in the river?" Ha ha! It didn't bother him. He said, "You can't die. Worldly people don't die." Then he said, "Only Jesus died the real death." What? Because, he said, he never thought of himself. What do? All day long, all night long, all life long, we think about me. How am I doing? Did they like me? They don't like me. What should I wear? Where should I go? What should I do? What should I eat? What should I do? Blah, blah, blah. All life long, me, all day long. The movie of me. And everybody else is playing a role in our movie. We don't really see who they are. We only see who we think they are. So, if we think they are suffering, then we always have the option to wish them well, to offer them loving kindness, to offer them our Bodhi mind, the mind of enlightenment. So this prayer was given to me by Bernie Glassman, the Zen master and great being. And I'll sing it a couple of times and then we'll sing Hanuman Chalisa, because we want to be good. We want to make this offering to people. We want to express our caring and our kindness, but it's not so easy. So Hanuman, and invoking that place within us that is always turned towards real love, that brings real strength, and we can be the best human being we can be, and we can make the offerings to others. And make the world a little bit better place. Calling out to hungry hearts everywhere through endless time. You who wander, you who thirst, I offer you this Bodhi mind. Calling out to hungry spirits everywhere through endless time. Calling out to hungry hearts, all the lost and the left behind. gather round and share this meal. Your joy and your sorrow, I make it mine. Calling out to hungry hearts everywhere through endless time. You who wander, you who thirst, I offer you this body mind. Calling out to hungry spirits everywhere through endless time. Calling out to hungry hearts, all the lost and the left behind. Gather round and share this meal. Your joy and your sorrow, I make it mine. Shri Guru Charan Saroja Raja Jamana Mukur Sudhari Parano Raghuvar Bimala Jasu Jodayak Palachari Buddhihin Tanujan Ke Sumiram Bhavan Kumar Siaram Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kalesa Bikara Siyavara Ramachandra Pada Jai Sharanam Jaya Hanuman Gyana Guna Saga Jaya Kapi Sati Hunloka Ujaga Ramaduta Tulta Baladhama Anjani Putra Pavana Sutanama Mahavira Bikram Vajarangi Matnivar Sumati Kesangi Kanchana Varana Viraja Subesa Kanana Kundala Kunchita Kesa Hatha Bajuro Dvaja Viraja Kande Munja Jane Usaja Shankara Suvana Kesari Nandan Teja Pratap Mahajagabanda Vidyavan Guni Ati Chatur Amakaj Karibe Koatu Prabhu Charitva Sunibe Korasiya Ramalakan Sita Mana Sukshma Rupa Darisiya Hindakav Vikata Rupa Daralanka Charav Bhima Rupa Dari Asura Sahari Ramachandra Ekaja Samvad Aya Sanjivana Lakana Jiaye Shri Raghubira Harshi Urdalai Raghupati Kinhi Bahut Barai Tuma Mama Priya Rathai Samavai Sahasabadan Tumaro Jasagao Asakai Shri Pati Kanta Lagao Sanakadika Brahmadi Munisa Narada Sharada Sahita Ahis Makubera Digapala Jahante Biko Bidakai Sake Kahante Tuma Upakara Sugriva Inkina Rama Milai Rajapadadin Maro Mantra Bibhishana Man Lankeshwara Bhai Sabba Jagadan Yuga Sahasra Jojana Paraban Iliyotai Madura Palajan Prabhu Mudrika Mele Mukamahi Chaladilange Gaya Charajanahi Durgama Kaja Jakata Kejete Sugama Anugrah Tumarete Rama Duare Tumarakavare Otana Agya Binu Bezar Sab Sukla Hai Tumhari Sharan तुम्हारा चक्काहू को धर्म आपन तेज समारो आपे तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे भूत पिशाचन खत नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुना हसे रोग हरे सब पीर जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीर संकट ते हनुमान चुरावे मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा इनके काज सकल तुम साज और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे सोवे अमित जीवन पल पावे हारों युग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियार साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुरन कंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धिनो निधि के दाता सुवर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पास सदा रहो रघुपति के दास हरे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हर भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्त न डरे अनुमत से सर्व सुख करे संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमेरे हनुमत बलबीर जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई शुद्ध ही बन्नी महासुख होए जोयावर हनुमान चालीसा होया सिद्धि साकी गौरीस तुलसीदास सदा हरिचेर कीजय नाथ हृदय मंदिर पवन तनय संकट हरण मंगल मूर्ति रूप सिया राम राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसो सुरभूप सियावर रामचंद्र पद जय शरण मंगल मूर्ति मारुत नंदन सकल अमंगल मूलन कंदन मंगल मूर्ति मारुत नंदन सकल अमंगल मूलन कंदन श्री राम जय जय राम 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 राम जय जय राम श्री 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 राम जय जय राम Okay. Thanks for hanging out tonight. I really appreciate this time we have to hang out in space together, in the heart space. These difficult times, this is how we help each other. We're interconnected, interdependent. We all lean on each other because everybody needs someone to lean on. So, if we know anything about a path at all, if we know that there might be a way to live in this world in a good way, with an open heart, without fear, it's only because of the great beings that have gone before us on this path. Out of their love, out of their kindness, they left some footprints for us to follow. So, in the same way that they wish for us, in the same way that they wish for us, we wish that all beings everywhere, all of us be safe, all of us be happy, all of us have good health and enough to eat. And may we all live in peace and at ease of heart. At ease of heart with whatever comes to us in life. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So once again, thanks to Benji and Heather, Shantala, that's their name of their group. And Steve Gorn, that's the name of his group. And he is multifarious, multifaceted, and fills the universe with sound. And thanks for coming. Much love. Ram Ram. Take good care. Namaste.